6 powerful shifts to regain respect from your adult children. Have you ever felt like your adult children are treating you differently? Perhaps they've started to ignore your advice, talk over you, or make you feel like you're more of a burden than a blessing? It's painful when the love, care, and effort you poured into raising them seems to be met with disrespect or indifference. But here's the thing, you're not alone. Many parents, particularly as their children grow older, find themselves in this situation. It's not uncommon for family dynamics to change over time, and it often leaves parents feeling undervalued. However, I want you to know that while you can't control your children's behavior, you can certainly change your approach to the relationship. Today, I'm going to share 6 powerful shifts you can make to regain respect, not by demanding it, but by inspiring it. If you're ready to take back control of the relationship, regain your dignity, and improve the dynamic with your grown children, stick with me until the end of this video. Shift 1. From approval seeking to recognizing your inherent self-worth. The first shift involves moving away from constantly seeking approval from your children. This might sound strange, especially when you've dedicated so much of your life to raising them. But when you're constantly looking for validation or approval, you unintentionally signal to your children that your value is dependent on their praise or acceptance. Think about it. Do you find yourself saying yes to every request, even when it's inconvenient or exhausting? Do you avoid disagreements just to keep the peace? Or perhaps you put your children's needs and schedules ahead of your own, always sacrificing your own well-being for theirs. While these actions often come from a place of love, they can unintentionally teach your children that your needs, feelings, and time are secondary. The mindset shift here is realizing that your worth is not dependent on your children's approval. You are valuable because you are you, not because of how much you do for others. Consider this story. Carol, a loving mother, was always rearranging her life to accommodate her children's last-minute plans. She'd agree to babysit even when she was exhausted and never voiced her own opinion if it conflicted with theirs. As a result, she started feeling invisible and resentful. One day, Carol's son called asking her to watch the grandkids at the last minute. Carol had plans with a friend she hadn't seen in years. Instead of agreeing right away, she gently said, "I'm sorry, but I already have plans. Can we try for another time?" Her son was initially shocked and a bit annoyed, but something interesting happened over time. He started calling ahead to ask about her availability. This small act of standing firm in her own needs shifted the dynamic. Practical steps. 1. Start recognizing your own needs and desires. 2. Practice saying no kindly but firmly when a request doesn't work for you. 3. Make decisions based on your own well-being, not just theirs. Shift 2. From reacting to responding. The second shift is about how you respond when disrespect happens. It's common to feel hurt, angry, or defensive when your adult children dismiss you or treat you poorly. However, reacting emotionally, by raising your voice or arguing, rarely helps the situation and can escalate the conflict. Instead, choose a calm, measured response that prioritizes your dignity over engaging in drama. When your child disrespects you, try to pause, take a deep breath, and respond calmly. Imagine this scenario. Your adult son dismisses your opinion, saying, "Oh mom, you just don't understand." Your immediate reaction might be to defend yourself, but instead, try responding calmly by saying, "I see it differently," or, "That's your perspective, and I have mine." If the disrespect continues, calmly set a boundary. "I'm happy to discuss this, but I need you to speak to me respectfully. Let's talk later when we're both calm." Practical steps. 1. Before reacting, take a deep breath and pause. 2. Use I statements, e.g., "I feel hurt when I'm interrupted," rather than accusatory language. 3. Learn to disengage from arguments that aren't productive. Shift 3. From permissiveness to clear boundaries. The third shift is about moving from being overly permissive to setting clear and healthy boundaries. One of the hardest truths about family dynamics is that we teach people how to treat us. If we allow disrespectful behavior without addressing it, we inadvertently normalize that behavior. The mindset shift here is understanding that setting boundaries is not selfish or unloving. It's necessary for maintaining healthy relationships. Boundaries protect both your emotional well-being and the integrity of your relationship. Setting boundaries requires clarity and consistency. If you allow your children to interrupt you constantly, criticize you, or demand unreasonable things from you, it's time to communicate that these behaviors are not acceptable. And it's not enough to just set the boundaries once. You must consistently enforce them. Consider this. A mother, tired of being spoken to with a dismissive tone by her adult daughter, finally decided to address it. The next time her daughter spoke to her disrespectfully, she calmly said, "I love you, but I won't accept being spoken to that way. We'll talk later when we can have a respectful conversation." Practical steps. Identify the specific behaviors that are unacceptable to you. Communicate those boundaries calmly, using I statements. Be consistent in enforcing your boundaries, even if it feels difficult. Shift 4. From dependence to independence. The fourth shift is about transitioning from emotional dependence on your children to cultivating your own independent, fulfilling life. This is a big one, especially for parents who have devoted so much of their energy to their children. But as your children become adults and create their own lives, it's crucial that you also create your own independent life. When you place all your emotional energy into your adult children, it creates an unhealthy dependence. They may feel pressured or burdened by this expectation. They might even begin to see you as less independent and more needy. The mindset shift here is realizing that your happiness, sense of purpose, and fulfillment must come from within, not from your children. Take the case of Eleanor, a widow who, after losing her husband, focused all her energy on her children. She was constantly waiting by the phone for their calls, feeling lonely and empty when they didn't visit. It pushed them away. However, when Eleanor made the conscious decision to rebuild her own life, joining a book club, traveling with friends, volunteering, something amazing happened. Her children became more interested in her life. Their calls shifted from being an obligation to genuine interest. Practical steps. Rediscover hobbies and passions that bring you joy. Cultivate friendships and pursue new social opportunities. Focus on activities that fulfill you, separate from your children. Shift 5. From automatic giving to wise generosity. The fifth shift is moving away from automatic giving, whether it's time, money, or energy, and instead practicing wise generosity. Parents often feel compelled to help their children constantly, whether it's offering financial support or giving up their time. However, when this becomes automatic, it can lead to entitlement rather than gratitude. The mindset shift here is understanding that your resources, time, energy, and money are valuable. Generosity should be a conscious choice, not an obligation. True help should empower, not enable. Think about a parent who consistently bails their child out of financial trouble. The parent feels resentful, but keeps giving out of guilt or obligation. This doesn't teach the child responsibility, it just reinforces their dependence. A better approach might be offering emotional support or helping the child set up a budget, rather than offering financial handouts. Practical steps. Pause before automatically giving. Ask yourself if your help is truly needed, or if it's being taken for granted. Practice saying no gracefully when a request feels more like a demand than a need. Shift 6. From conflict to healthy communication. Finally, the sixth shift involves moving from conflict to healthy communication. Conflict is inevitable in relationships, but how you approach it can make all the difference. Healthy communication is about being honest, clear, and respectful while also being open to hearing the other person's perspective. The mindset shift here is prioritizing understanding over winning. Healthy communication fosters connection, even in difficult moments. Practical steps. Practice active listening and empathy. Be mindful of your tone and words. Focus on finding common ground instead of winning the argument. Regaining respect from your adult children is not about controlling their behavior, it's about shifting your own approach. By focusing on self-respect, clear boundaries, independence, and wise generosity, you can inspire the respect you deserve. These 6 shifts are powerful tools for creating healthier, more respectful relationships with your grown children. It's a journey that takes time, patience, and consistency, but it's a journey worth taking. If this video has provided you with valuable insights or practical strategies, please like, share, and subscribe.